Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today we're doing something really fun. We're looking right over the judges' shoulders to demystify exactly how competitive ballroom dance is scored. Seriously, if you've ever watched a competition and wondered, how on earth do these officials pick a winner from a floor completely packed with spinning sequins, feathers, and just constant motion? Well, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to break down the official criteria using insights straight from the experts so you can see the exact anatomy of a winning score.
Okay, let's quickly map out our agenda for today. We've got 5 main stops. First, the myth of subjectivity. Second, mechanics, technique, and timing. Third, physics, frame and connection. Fourth, artistry, the whole picture. And finally, number 5, from performance to placement. Let's jump right into section 1. The myth of subjectivity. So, here's the big question we have to tackle first. Is ballroom dance scoring purely a subjective art form? You know, to the casual spectators sitting in the audience, watching a heat of dancers twirling around the floor, it looks completely subjective. It's really hard to see how a winner is chosen. Honestly, it just looks like a beautiful, chaotic whirlwind, right? And it's so easy to just assume the judges are picking the couple with the most dazzling costumes or, I don't know, the biggest smiles. It's something pretty much everyone wonders when they first tune in. But, well, the answer to that question is a resounding no. Surprisingly enough, judging is actually highly structured. It relies on strict, objective expectations that differ totally depending on whether you're dancing novice or championship, standard, or Latin. Judges are evaluating competitors within the really rigid context of the specific dance and category they're performing in. It's actually fascinating when you realize that the expectations for movement and posture shift significantly between different difficulty levels. So, a routine is always being judged against a very, very precise benchmark. And while exact procedures might vary slightly from one organization to the next, almost all judging systems evaluate 5 core elements. We're talking about technique, timing, frame, partnering, and presentation. These 5 metrics literally form the anatomy of a ballroom score. If you want to understand who wins and why they win, these are the essential elements you've got to track.
All right, moving on to section 2, mechanics, technique, and timing. First up, judges evaluate technique by seeing how well dancers adhere to their syllabus. Basically, they're assessing if the routine reflects the expected fundamentals for their precise level. A huge portion of the score comes from how accurately dancers execute the required steps. You're strictly judged on whether your routine respects the boundaries of your current skill tier. So if you try to throw in a flashy move that actually belongs in a higher level, yeah, you're not getting extra credit for that. You'll actually likely get penalized for breaking syllabus. To do this, judges literally have a mental checklist. They're actively checking off accurate execution of figures. They want to see clean footwork, correct body actions, consistent movement quality, and true precision in patterning. And listen, they will rapidly reduce marks for unstable timing or incorrect weight placement, even if the overall performance looks highly energetic. You absolutely cannot hide imprecise footwork behind a lot of fast, flashy movement. The judges' eyes are highly trained to catch exactly where the weight settles on the floor. Now, what's really fascinating here is that judges aren't just listening to the beat. They're deeply analyzing your physical relationship to it. They will heavily penalize a dancer who gradually drifts out of alignment as a routine progresses. But on the flip side, they reward those who show true musicality. That means using smooth or sharp accents to authentically communicate the music's character. You've got to maintain correct tempo from the very first second of the song, right through to the final note, never losing that core connection to the rhythm. Okay, let's look at section 3, physics, frame and connection. So there is a massive contrast in physical expectations based entirely on the style of dance. For example, standard dances, like the waltz or foxtrot, demand rigid upper body stability, an unbreaking quality of contact, and crystal clear lines from head to feet. It's all about sweeping elegance. But then you have Latin dances, like the rumba or cha-cha, and the emphasis shifts entirely. Here, it's all about controlled body action, high-quality hip movement, and styling control that supports the aesthetic, but without ever looking forced or unnatural. But hey, no matter what style you're dancing, basic physics and geometry still rule the floor. Across all categories, judges reward intentional, beautifully balanced lines from head to foot, and they actively penalize collapsed posture or uneven arms. If a judge spots obvious tension that disrupts the visual aesthetic, think hiked up shoulders or a super stiff neck, your score is going to take an immediate hit. The body has to look powerful, sure, but completely free of strain. And because this is fundamentally a partnership sport, Judges are also evaluating how the two bodies move through space together. They're looking for leading and following clarity, perfect synchronization, and the ability to maintain a precise spatial relationship. They will absolutely dock points if one dancer appears delayed, loses alignment, or just fails to match their partner's trajectory during complex changes in speed and direction. Both halves of the partnership must be working in perfect tandem, literally breathing and moving as a single unit. Section 4, Artistry, the whole picture. Here, judges are evaluating the whole picture. This means a routine must beautifully blend correctness with artistry, showcasing undeniable confidence. You can't just be a dancing robot executing math equations with your feet. You have to demonstrate real expression. You have to convincingly sell the emotional performance to both the audience and the panel of judges surrounding the floor. It's really about radiating an energy that draws everyone right into the story of the dance. The experts actually emphasize that, and I quote, "Even strong technical execution may score lower if presentation feels detached or inconsistent with the dance character." Guys, that is a massive takeaway for competitors. Perfect footwork means nothing if your face and your energy are completely detached from the mood of the music. A technically flawless routine will frequently get heavily outscored by a well-performed routine that pairs clear technique with convincing musical interpretation and genuine artistry. Which brings us to Section 5, from performance to placement. The mathematical reality of a competition actually follows a very specific flow. Step 1, the judge evaluates the performance against the core criteria we just talked about. Step 2, depending on the event, they award numeric marks or direct placements. And Step 3, those marks are mathematically converted into relative rankings for the heat. Keep in mind, this rigorous process often happens across multiple qualifying rounds, with each round scored completely separately long before the dancers ever even reach a final. And here is a crucial point. Because the scoring is strictly comparative, a dancer's placement is entirely dependent on their execution relative to the other dancers sharing the floor in that exact moment. You aren't being scored in a vacuum. Two couples with identical technique might actually get completely different results in different competitions, simply because the surrounding competitive field in their specific heat was stronger or weaker. It is all about who is the absolute best on that specific floor, on that specific day. So, what's the ultimate takeaway here? For anyone looking to step onto the floor and level up, the experts say you need to ditch the fluff. Practice the exact objective elements that judges are proven to reward from start to finish. Focus on the accuracy of your figures, your musical timing, your clean lines, your strong connection, and a consistent performance. Build your routine around those unshakable pillars, because that is the true formula for success when the clipboards come out. Knowing this strict mathematical formula behind all the glamour, it changes things, doesn't it? The next time you watch a ballroom competition, I challenge you to look past the sequins, look past the glamour. See if you can spot the dancer with the cleanest lines, the truest timing, and the most consistent performance. Ask yourself, will you be watching as a casual spectator or as a judge? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and we'll see you next time.